Okay, I'm going to really quickly show you guys how to submit a deal using the Oxford Agent Portal. From the homepage, you can click the Agent Dashboard. You'll log in using your OPGNY email address. On the left, you'll see the Deals tab. From the Deals tab, you'll be able to add a deal. Alternatively, you can click this dropdown and see any pending closed deals or past year's deals. Once you click Add a Deal, you'll be brought to the deal submission page. From the deal submission page, the top line, what you'll see is your name. You'll be able to add any additional agents if you co-broke with those agents. Lead source is not required, but if you want to, it's encouraged. You can see your plan type. The deal type is a residential sale, lease, or commercial sale or lease. In this case, we'll be submitting a residential sale where we represented the buyer and the approximate closing date. You don't need to get this exact, but if you have a closing date or an approximate closing date, that's perfect. The address here is easy to fill out. You guys know what to do there. Apartment number, in the event that there is no apartment number at the house, you can just write none. The sale price, in this case, we sold a $3 million apartment, so that's great. Put your client information here, first name, last name, email address. If you want, we can send them an email asking them to write a review on your page on the website. So here, you'll let us know what type of payment was received, whether it was a check, a credit card, wire, cash, or an OP. Let's go over the scenario in which a check is paid. On the left side, these are any payment received or paid to Oxford with any deal deductions. And on the right side here, these checks are the actual checks that we're going to be writing to you or third party as the agent. So let's assume you made $10,000 and the check is being sent to our office. You would click check is being sent. If you want to give us an additional note that says like 2 weeks expected, that's helpful but not required. If you're going to be depositing the check, which is our preferred method, that means you have the physical check and you plan on depositing the check, you would write the transaction or the check number in this line here. If you don't have it, that's also acceptable. And then please give us a heads up as to the approximate date of which you're going to be depositing the check. So here, I put that here. Any deal deductions, so these deductions come off the top and do not affect the splits. So as an example, a third-party check written to Douglas Elliman, and I see I spelled it wrong, but we're moving quickly, for $1,000. You can see the $1,000 here payable to the order of Douglas Elliman comes up on the check. And then there's a remaining $9,000 left over, of which I split with myself getting $5,000 and my other agent that I did the deal with $4,000, and you can see the split is 56-44 based on this $9,000. On the right side, I don't pay a deal fee since I'm on the 100% plan. Aaron does pay a deal fee since he's on the 70-30 plan or the 90-10 plan. It would change. His $1,200 would be taken out. He's due a check for $2,800, and Douglas Elliman is due a check for $1,000. In this section, please upload any of your files. So we do require, obviously, the fair housing disclosure form. You can use the digital forms here. If you go to the online forms section, this form is available. You can send this link to your clients. They would select your name, fill out the form, and sign it, and it would be available to be added to the section here. So you can do that. If you have a copy of the contract or lease, please upload it here. Commission advance, if you'd like one, you can select yes. It defaults to no. Your mode of payment, we always suggest using ACH because it's free. If you'd like a check, we can do that, but there's a $15 charge. And you can change your ACH information if you need to as well. We will call you and confirm that as to make sure there's no fraud of any kind. Any additional internal notes that you want to write, you can type here. This just requests that you understand that you're going to be writing the deal ID that you receive once you submit this on the commission check on both the check memo line and the deposit slip form. I just want to go up and see if I've forgotten anything. Oftentimes I forget the management company. In this case, I forgot it. So you can see co-broke with Douglas Elliman or Douglas Elliman Management. So you can put either of those things there. If there's none, you can write NA or none. On the bottom here, oftentimes as part of these deals, you also need an invoice. If you do not need an invoice, you can just hit that slider button and then submit deal. If you do need an invoice, you can select yes. If you want to send the invoice to the client above, we've automatically given their information here. However, if you want to send it to somebody other than the client, you can click no and then type in the information of perhaps the lawyer that you'd like to send the information to here. So if you want to send to multiple people, you can do that. If you'd like to send it on your own, you can actually just hit submit and download invoice. It will not send an email out to anybody, but you'll get a copy of the invoice. And if you want to submit it and email the invoice, you can just hit email. If you want to save it as draft and do it as later, you can do that as well. In this case, I'm going to be submitting and downloading the invoice. You can see by accident, I hit that, which we don't need. So we'll hit submit and download the invoice. Let's give it a second. It's loading, as you can see. And then we'll hopefully get the success page. And here you go. Here's the success page, deal submitted. I have my deal ID number. These are the instructions on how to deposit the commission check. We gave you the account number in which you're supposed to deposit at our Chase branch, right? Oxford Property Group - the agent name and the deal ID. Also, please write this deal ID number here on the check. In the event that you ever forget what your deal ID number is, you can always go back to the deals page. You can see on this homepage the actual deal ID, the status of the deal. In this case, it was submitted and the invoice was downloaded. If you want to view the invoice, you can download it again by clicking that button. This is what the invoice looks like. I can then send this invoice to my client, and if I had selected email directly, I could email it to them as well. So that's all I got. Thank you guys for listening, and good luck. If you have any questions, feel free to email us or call us anytime.